surveillance, less surveillance, ebbs and flows with world events. We saw it ebb when the Snowden revelations happened. We saw it flow in the aftermath of the Paris attacks and the San Bernardino attacks. Just to give our viewers a sense of how capable the NSA is, let me read this quote from the Wall Street Journal piece. Quote, "The NSA was so proficient at monitoring heads of state that it was common for the agency to deliver a visiting leader's talking points to the president in advance." Not his position on a certain, but his veritable talking points.
Yeah, I actually don't have any problem with that whatsoever. I think, you know, we're all adults here. We should be monitoring the communications of anybody and everybody at all times in terms of foreign leaders and what foreign governments are up to. To me, I'm troubled by the same thing Charles is, the apparent double standard. I mean, the president chose to exclude from intercepts, apparently, Angela Merkel, Francois Hollande, and other members of NATO, but chose to continue the monitoring of Benjamin Netanyahu. And it was also the purpose for that monitoring. If you believe what was reported in the Wall Street Journal, and there's no reason not to, they wrote, White House officials believed the intercepted information could be valuable to counter Mr. Netanyahu's campaign. That is, the campaign to undermine the Iran deal. Secondly, they said that Netanyahu was subject to stepped up NSA eavesdropping. So not only were they targeting Netanyahu, they were prioritizing Netanyahu, and they were using it, if you believe the reporting in this piece, for the purposes of a political campaign here in the United States. That is a problem. If they're monitoring government leaders, foreign, friendly, unfriendly, that's fine. If they're doing it for the purposes of winning a domestic political debate here in the United States, that is deeply problematic.
I kind of detected a legal nuance in that clip that we played right off the top of the president saying we're no longer going to monitor heads of state. His specific wording was heads of state. Benjamin Netanyahu is not the head of state of Israel. The head of state of Israel is the president of Israel, who is Reuven Rivlin.
Look, I think that's a technicality. I think the real issue is if, like Kirsten, you define administration leeway as anything that will get through an administration action because it believes in the national security of the United States, including trying to undermine the arguments, the decisions, the discussions of Congress, which is deciding an issue, that is illegitimate. Let's assume this is not about Israel. Let's assume it's about a treaty about arms control, which legitimately the Congress has a say in. In the Iran deal, it was legitimately that Congress had a say in it. It agreed to a process in which Congress would either approve or disapprove of the treaty. And what the administration is doing, using the spying services of the government under its control, the way you do in banana republics, to actually intervene in the process of private discussions that members of Congress is having for the purpose of winning over the argument in Congress. That is illegitimate, and that ought to be something that should never be done. The administration not only did it, it understood it's wrong, which is why it tried to do it passively without a paper trail.
Could this have